What's up, guys? So today I'm going to set up the Vermibag Mini and get it set up because apparently my worms will be here next week. So let's get this thing set up so it can set for a week and kind of settle down before the worms get here. First thing I'm going to do is set up the stand. Now the stand is simple. It's made of PVC. But the thing about this I wanted to show you guys is my whole life I've cut PVC with a hacksaw and made a big old mess. PVC cutter from Lowe's, Home Depot. Check this out. It just slides right on there. Tighten it down and just give it a few whips in a circle. Keep tightening it as you go. It cuts PVC without leaving a mess, and it's really quick and it's awesome. So the PVC stand for the Vermibag Mini is super simple to set up. It's like, it takes a second. I will find a way to video it and I will show you guys. Bye. All right, so I pre-cut all of my PVC pipe and it's all sitting right here. And I've got the connectors. This is the first time I've set this stuff up, so we're gonna see how long it takes. It's not gonna take long at all, and you guys can see how simple this is to do yourself. First thing you gotta do is build your sides. Well, your top and your bottom. Pretty straightforward. I love PVC because it's like Legos for grown-ups. You can say you're doing work, but really, you're just playing building blocks. And with these connectors, it makes life super easy. Now, you do not have to glue these together, okay? Don't glue them together. That way you can take them apart later if you want to change something up. Yeah, don't glue them together. Pretty straightforward instructions there. Most of this PVC pipe, well, all of the PVC pipe, I found in a dumpster in Florida. So the only cost I have associated with this frame is I had to buy 4 of these corner pieces, fittings. So you can't really complain about that. And it really carries on the idea of recycling things. So now I've got my top and my bottom piece. Now I'm putting in the sides. My 4 sides are in. And here goes the top piece. Bam, it's set up. Just like that. Just like that, the Vermibag stand is set up. It took about a minute, maybe a minute and a half after I had it all cut to put up. And I want to point out again, I don't know how the sound came out, but with the exception of 4 of those couplers, I found every bit of this in a dumpster that somebody was just throwing away. That's awesome. All right, so the next step of this process is to set up the actual Vermibag, which is right here. You guys keep in mind, this is the old style. I've spoken with Tom a couple of times since ordering these, the guy that makes these. The big difference being the new style has a zippered pouch on the bottom, so you don't have to have this plug or these knots. It's a zippered bag, and the next, if I buy another one, I promise you it will be the zipper bag. I've never even used this before, and I think it's gonna be just fine, but watching his videos of the zipper bag makes it so easy to use. Yeah, so let me figure out how to hang this thing and I will record that. Okay guys, so as expected, the Vermibag Mini came with 4 butterfly straps that attach to this PVC pipe. It is, as expected, super easy to put together. I'm gonna try to do the first one here one-handed so you can see how simple it is. You just run your butterfly strap through this tab. I can't do it one-handed. I'm a failure. But yeah, butterfly strap goes like that. You pull apart your PVC. A PVC pipe goes through here, a PVC pipe goes through here, and it hangs in the corner. So let's do that right now. There's one. There's two. As you can see, it's not quite simple one-handed operation, but it's not complicated either. So I'm gonna do the other four corners of this, and then it'll be the part where I show you how Tom told me how to set up this Vermibag Mini, and then we'll be waiting for worms. All right, guys, so there's my Vermibag on the stand. Now we are going to go through setting up and getting it ready for the worms. So she's all set up. We're going to one-handed unzip this system and take a look down inside of it. It's actually deeper than I expected it to be. Dang, I don't know, I can fit almost my whole arm down in it. Now this, keep in mind, this is the older system. In the newer system, I think Tom wants one piece of paper down there in the bottom. Because this is the old system, I talked to him on email, and he said put 4 sheets of wet paper in the bottom to form that initial bowl that's gonna help hold your casings and worms in when you first start out. So all I'm doing is taking wet paper from the junk mail and making that bowl. When I do the first harvest on this thing, if I'm not mistaken, that bowl will mostly still be intact. But after that, I won't need a bowl on the bottom anymore. So we'll see how that goes. There's 2 sheets. I'm gonna put these last 2 sheets in, and then I will go get the bedding and show you how to install that. I may have messed up and made it too wet. That's why I'm setting this thing up a week in advance to leave it out in the garage so it will dry out some. All right, be right back. Okay, so here's a bucket of worm bedding that me and Dominic made up the other night. It's got cocoa core, a couple different types of paper, cardboard, and some mule poop in it. So this stuff is supposed to be damp, but not wet. It should feel like a wet sponge. And when I pick it up, I should be able to squeeze maybe a drop out of it if I'm squeezing real hard. So I think I got a problem. I can pick it up and I squeeze, and it's got water just pouring out of it, as you can see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put enough paper, or put that in there, and add in some of this dry bedding material that isn't mixed in, so I can get it dried out. I don't know, I mean, like I said, this is my first time doing this, and I thought that I had the moisture just right, and obviously I did not. So I'm gonna put about 6 inches of my worm bedding in there, fluff it with this to get it the right temperature, or right moisture level, and then I will be back to show you how it's set up. Literally, I'm not going to video this because I'm going to be scooping this with these hands, putting them straight into there, adding in a layer of dry bedding, mixing it together, or putting it in there, mixing it together, and do that until I filled to about 6 to 8 inches up. I don't feel like I need to insult your intelligence and video that, so I will just show you the finished product. So first off, good news. I forgot that I store these buckets the way I was told to, which is upside down. That way all the moisture pools down there at the lid, which isn't all the way sealed. That way it can seep out. So when I was taking from the top of the bucket, yeah, it was really wet, but once I got an inch down into the bedding, it was perfect. You could squeeze it. You would have to squeeze really hard to get a drop of water out of it. So what I did was I mixed that top couple inches in here with the paper, just like I said I was going to do. Threw some coffee grounds in. That's what's on top right there is coffee grounds. And then I've got this layer of shredded paper to stop any moisture issues that may develop. And then down in here, I've got the bedding layered with that little bit of dry material I put in. So, as of right now, my Vermibag Mini, old school prototype 1, is set up and ready to go, waiting for the worms. I'll post a video when I get them, but all I'm going to do is set them in there and zip this thing back up and let them do their business. A couple days later, I will give them their first feeding and see how they're doing. So since this is set up early, I'm gonna let this kind of self-regulate the moisture and make sure it's gonna be good. And we'll be raising up some worms to do some vermicomposting. Add fishing bait and all the stuff that goes along with that. Worm castings for my garden, which is another project I'm about to start videoing. The redesign of what used to be my dog kennel is now going to be a giant salad table. And I will show you how I'm going to do that. So my initial thoughts on the Vermibag. Super easy to set up. The instructions that Tom provides are very simple, very understandable. The stand is easy. Everything seems to be going well right now. Oh, one thing I haven't talked about. Check this out. If you want to look in and see how your worms are doing, he calls this the Vermi window. So that'll be cool. And as the worms get in there, I will make sure and look that out. So I'm going to put a bucket underneath this and just see if I catch any moisture dripping out of it. And that'll give me a good idea if I have my bedding right or not. Thanks for watching, guys. If you are considering a continuous flow system, to date, I do not have issues with the Vermibag. Keep in mind, it's just getting set up and we will go from there. Thanks.